The City of Bowling Green Fleet Division maintains approximately 550 vehicles. They range in size and complexity from lawnmowers to fire trucks. This requires a well-equipped facility and highly trained staff to keep vehicles up and running. In this spotlight on Bowling Green, we'll take a closer look at the Public Works Fleet Division and what's required to maintain its vehicles and equipment.
The role of the Fleet Division is a support role. Each department requires vehicles and equipment to do their duties. And each department has their own unique requirements depending on what they do. The Fleet Division makes sure that each department has what they need, and not only make sure they have what they need, that when they need it, it is maintained in such a way that it is reliable and dependable. Combined, the city has approximately 550 vehicles and equipment. Approximately 200 of that number is your basic pickup or car. Approximately 100 of that number is police cruisers. And the remainder is items like plows, salters, dump trucks, leaf machines, collectors, items like that. When determining when a vehicle or piece of equipment is ready to be replaced, we use a formula that uses age, miles or hours, the type of use, and the cost of ownership. When a vehicle meets a certain number of each one of those criteria, then it is considered for replacement.
Fleet employees are specially trained to outfit and maintain the Bowling Green Police Department squad cars.
Yearly, we've been getting a batch of cars in, and with that, we have to do a lot of thinking ahead on getting our light bars, all of our equipment that we're going to need, get with the police department and find out what requirements they need as far as their electronics. And then the shop supervisor and I will get a plan. We'll work out wiring colors and circuits that we want to use, fused link circuits, so if any issues, we know where the problem might lie. And after that, we bring a car in and we start the process. The car comes in black and white from the factory with the police wiring package in it. That's just some extra wiring for our circuits, for our camera systems, police radio, and other items. We'll take the car apart, include the door panels, back seats, passenger seats, just whatever we have to do to get all of our wires ran. We'll pull our circuits, we'll make up our wiring harnesses. We'll pull them up to the front of the car to where the console might be. We'll get that all lined out and put a trunk tray in it. After we get the trunk tray in it, I'll start the wiring process up to the front, and we'll build a console and get it mounted along with the control box. And at that point, we will mount the light bar and any additional lighting, such as mirror lights, any side lighting or anything that we may want to add to the car, and run all them circuits and gather them wires up to the console for connection. Then we'll start the final stages of installation, which will be the prisoner divider and the prisoner restraint system and the prisoner seats, seat belts and the gun locks and all them items that goes with that. Being that this is their mobile office for 8-10 hours a day, we try to make sure everything's perfect and they don't have any issues. Just part of our job here at the City of Bowling Green at the Fleet Division. We enjoy it.
Special steps and training must be taken in order to maintain the Bowling Green Fire Department fire trucks, as well as other large machinery, such as snowplows or dump trucks.
We had to find a space to accommodate the size of the trucks. That alone was a challenge. What we ended up doing was taking an area that we had designated for pool cars and just basically cleaned it out, and it's a 140 foot by 40 foot shop, and I can pull them in long ways, and it was the only place that really had that was long enough to accommodate how long the trucks are. Second of all, we had the huge learning curve of just all the extra, the hoses and the valves and all that stuff was It took some time to get, and it kind of got dropped on us because the guy retired that was doing it, and so we had to do it pretty quickly. So we had to kind of learn as we went, and then we also had to training and different things as well. Because it's not something you just pick up and go, oh yeah, I know how to do that, or I can figure it out, So we've done a lot of training, and then we've done some EVT, which is Emergency Vehicle Technician certifications, which kind of along the same lines as the ASE for the automotive. You basically go and get those in there, and they have a section specifically for fire, and there's 8 different certifications you can get, and we're working on those. I've worked up, and I'm up to level 1. We're hoping to get to master at some point in time. It's a pretty slow process because they only give the test certain times a year, so it's hard to take more than one at a time. You have to recert every 5 years, so by the time I get all of them, I'll probably be back trying to get them all again.
I think a lot of it is just the willingness to do it. I mean, because there's not really any way to prepare. Because I mean, whenever you've got so many different types of equipment, I mean, you never know. Everything operates different. Everything has different systems, different wiring. So, yeah, I mean, a lot of it, we rely on the vendors and stuff. We can call them, and a lot of them around town are real helpful. So I mean, we rely on them to help us do it, and just the manuals, and a lot of it just you kind of have a basic knowledge, and you just kind of dive in it and see what happens. I mean, most cars are wired up fairly the same. I mean, you've got your lights, and that are wired, fairly the same. But once you get into some of the other stuff like the hydraulics, or like a cop car don't have any hydraulic systems because they don't have any need for it. Whereas a dump truck, you've got a hydraulic system that raises and lowers the bed, and then you've got a separate one to hook up to your snow equipment. So I mean, that stuff's different, but I mean, the basics on your wiring and the motor, and I mean, all that stuff's pretty much the same. A lot of our dump trucks, for a long time we had diesels. Well, now we've kind of switched over to gas burners. So I mean, it's just a normal truck car motor, so I mean, that stuff's pretty much the same. But other than that, they differ quite a bit. So I like working on the equipment. I mean, it's dirty. I mean, I don't go home clean hardly ever, but it's something different every day, and I mean, I guess since I've been down here, that's pretty much all I've ever worked on. There's 2 of us here at a time whenever it snows most of the time. So I mean, they're up there working on the salt trucks too, and I mean, we need help, doing stuff. We all jump in together, just get everything going and get it out.
Regular training, research, and excellent record keeping are imperative when dealing with a fleet this diverse and this large.
The diversity of the fleet that we have presents a number of challenges. We have a real wide variety of vehicles and equipment here, everything from fire trucks and heavy trucks to over 100 police cars and light equipment, light vehicles, pickup trucks, cars. We have mowers, leaf collectors, snow plows, street sweepers. So there's such a wide variety that we work on. It presents a lot of challenges. The technicians have to maintain a level of knowledge to working on this. And we can send them out on training. We do send them out on training, but what we usually end up doing is manufacturers, when we purchase the equipment, give us some training and they give us some material. We also subscribe to different manufacturers that provide us. We've got Ford and Chrysler and GM. We subscribe to some of their repair information, and so the technicians have access to that. And then all the books that we have, they have to pull from those also. And so that's helpful because of how diverse the fleet is. There may be this one particular type of equipment that they'll maybe see once a year. If we send them out for training, they don't see it enough to keep up on it. So they have to refer back to the information that we have and in access information, and our technicians are really good about that. Communication and scheduling and record keeping are really important. We have a fleet software that helps us keep those records. So anytime there's any work done on it, all the parts and labor get charged to it, any commercial charges. It's in a system that when we have regularly scheduled maintenance, once that job is completed, the system will automatically set next time that it's due. Then from that system, we can run reports that this particular vehicle is ready for service. Basically, what we try to do is we try to manage the life cycle of a fleet. Every piece of equipment has a life cycle. When it comes in here, we spend a lot of time upfitting it. You know, just any kind of equipment, work equipment, will have certain tools or machinery on it that has to be installed by us, and so we do a lot of upfitting.
Through the course of the years that I've been working here, I've got to know several of the police officers, the majority of them actually, personally, and we've become friends, and I'm concerned about their safety just as well as the next person. But the police officers put their lives on the line out there every day, and if I can help make that what they do a little better, and they can depend on their office per se, their car, and the work that I do, it's very rewarding at the end of the day when I've done that.
For more information on this or any other Spotlight on Bowling Green program, please call 270-393-3000 or visit bgky.org.